YouTube, Jeep and Bubba here, and we're going to do a full walk around on Project Ranger Bob. Now, you've seen us building this all year long, but we're in SEMA now, and we're going to do a full walk around and show you everything that we've done. If you go back a long time ago, we did a $3,000 build walk around. Now we're in the 20,000 range, but there's a lot to be said for what we've done, so let's just go through it. All right, we're gonna start in the front. So this is a JCR off-road DIY bumper. We have one on the rear as well. It has a hitch mount in the front, but we just put a tag in it for now. You could do recovery off of it. And D-ring shackles on it. We've actually got them double welded on the front and welded on the back. And we did a JCR off-road tie-in bracket. So you're not just at the front of the unibody, it goes all the way back. Just did some truck lights, rigid lights in the front, and then obviously our big sponsor on this was Mpower. So we're in the Mpower booth here at SEMA. It's got a slew of Mpower lights. So we made a custom bracket to hold their 16-inch light bar. It's welded basically to the bumper and to the core support of the radiator. And then if we look underneath, still have the Dirty 30 in the front, but we did 456 gears in it, and we did Yukon's limited slip in there. We got rid of the FAD system. It's got a YJ straight through axle shaft, cab fab crossover steering, JKS track bar. Not a big upgrade on the brakes, just did some power stops. And we've got an anti-rock from Curry in there, Fox 2.0 stabilizer. Suspension, we've got 4.5-inch zone off-road springs with ACO spacers pushing up to 6.5, Fox 2.0s, JKS adjustable control arms, front and rear, Adams drive shaft, and then we did a rough country drop-down bracket to flatten out those short arms just a little bit better. Did a ton underneath as far as we did a rear main seal, new oil pan, every seal underneath, every seal in the engine, went through the engine completely. It's completely tuned up. Did some eBay plastics on this. There's not a lot of great options for these, but just made sure it kind of looked fresh and new. Then as we go around the side, we've got notch custom flares. These things are what really makes this Jeep to me. Gives you the room to flex and get the tires up and down. They're all fiberglass, made in the USA. You can get them directly from Notch Customs or Moab Outfitters. Great product, all fiberglass. You basically cut a couple inches out of this. They've got studs in the back of them, and they take a little bit of work, but they're totally worth it. We did do stainless lines underneath for the brakes. We got Falcon 35-inch 1250 by 17 RTs. This is aggressive looking tire without going all the way to the MT. So it's actually a really quiet, really good riding tire. And then we got the Mambas on here. They're stainless. I believe that's an M28. I hope I'm not wrong on that. I believe it's M28. They released these at SEMA last year, and I knew I really wanted them for this. I wanted something that was kind of a Smokey and the Bandit spoke style wheel, and I definitely wanted it to be machined. Obviously, a forestry truck wouldn't have that, but our whole idea on Ranger Bob was Ranger Bob is this forest ranger that got to keep his service vehicle, and he had all these dreams of things he would like to have done to this vehicle. So we think if a forest ranger had a Comanche that was a service vehicle and drove it for years, like, when it's mine, these are all the things I'd like to do. Keep it true to being a forestry vehicle, but some really cool kit components. So that brings us in to the 3M wrap. This is Mantis Green by 3M. We stripped the whole body down, did a lot of body work, and the whole vehicle got wrapped in this 3M. Put a new piece of plastic up here, wiper blades, original glass. I did have to replace the mirrors. We can come in here on the logo. This is our Department of Adventure. We got the little bear in here. Inside, we did our first interior at Black Bear Off-Road ever. So original door panels, but we put new carpet in. We got an Avenue Performance steering wheel. We've got shift core short shifter in there. Swapped in an AX15 over the Peugeot. Retro manufacturing, retro sound radio. Did all their speakers, put a 10-inch self-powered sub in it. Did Mpower's interior light bar from a JL in it. Put a new center console, got the Corbeau Bajas XLs in there. My wife custom made that headliner you're seeing in there. We put Dynamat throughout the whole vehicle and did some Mpower fascia lights as our cargo lights. and does have a 231 transfer case with a SYE. So a lot of Cherokee parts in it. All the speakers replaced, original dash. Up above us, we have the Mpower light bar. This is amber and white strobe. So basically what maybe a Forest Ranger would have, Park Ranger, something like that. Found some old Baja lasers from Dick CPEC. These are new old stock. JCR Off-Road chase rack. This rack is for a Gladiator, but we modified it to work for the Comanche because we wanted something kind of old school looking and modern as well. Wrap continues. We did an 8 1/4 rear, 456 gears as well, all Yukon. Did leaf over with a stock Dorman leaf. That gave us a 6.5 inch rear lift. We'll show you in the back. We had to make a couple brackets for that. We did a spray in bully liner, sprayed that in ourselves. More of the Mpower fascia lights in here. We did them in green. Did a Moto-Built gas tank holder in there, and used some of the moly to put some components on there that maybe a Ranger would need out in the field. Got our Falcon cooler, and on the back, got some of our sponsors. Again, JCR Off-Road DIY rear bumper. Threw some 2x1 Mpower lights down here. And in Georgia, you can actually register a vintage tag. I found this 1987 tag that was in a very similar color to this. Now this is an 88, but I thought, hey, it's close enough and it's the right color. We mounted these, actually welded them to a tag mount. So they have a quick disconnect on it. So if we need to pull this tag off or use the hitch, we can undo these lights pretty easy. I use them as reverse lights, basically. Underneath, if you can see, we use Rusty's Off-Road brackets for the shocks. Our buddy Jeep and Mickey cut this one apart and put it back together because we wanted them to have the same angle. They would have had a different angle, so we wanted them to angle, and then we used the Barnes 4-wheel drive truss. It's a universal truss that tied in well. I don't know if you can get down here with me. It's gonna be pretty fun, but we got a cool little part right here. This is actually our proportioning valve, and the more we turn this, we can get more or less braking in the rear drum. So we've got that right there. I can turn this and adjust it. I've got it dialed in just right. Custom made the exhaust. It sounds awesome. It's not great, but hey, it is what it is. I love the sound of it. It's just, you know, not something that's cut mandrel bit, all that good stuff. One thing you're seeing is more fascia lights. We got them in amber. They do white, amber, red, and green. We did amber in here. That's lighting up our wheel wells. So we wanted green and yellow on the whole vehicle build. Another cool thing that we did is, let's see, we have the Race Quip wireless remote. So basically we have a box under the hood, has 8 switches, and we can actually turn on different lights, turn on the strobes. This has a 100-foot range, so that way we're at shows, we can show this thing off. We did do an Optima battery under the hood, painted the valve cover, leaving the hood closed because it's just kind of a dirty old 4.0 underneath there, but it runs excellent. That's just about it. It took us 10 months or so, maybe a year. I've had this truck now 6 years, and everything's basically at some point been stripped off and replaced, and that's Ranger Bob. Lots of folks to thank, but I've already done that on social media, but really big thank you to Mpower and my crew at Black Bear Off-Road. If you guys have any questions about it, how did you do this, what is that part, leave them in the comments. I'm glad to answer them, and eat your prunes. We'll be seeing you.